Hey guys, it's Raegan here from the Freedom 15 movement, and I've got a really important message for you today, so I do hope that you are listening wholeheartedly. I think that whether you're hearing this for the first time or the 100th time, you'll absolutely take away some value from the lesson that I'd like to impart today. Now, I want to start out by saying that throughout the Freedom 15 videos, we've really been talking about vehicles or ways and means to obtain a level of external freedom. So things like financial freedom, time freedom, and even freedom from a particular location in which you must work. So in other words, the ability to work from absolutely anywhere. Now, as I've been speaking about, these things are all 100% possible. And if you haven't had a chance already, I would definitely recommend going back and checking out some of the other videos. But my point through all of this is that the ability to obtain these external freedoms, it starts with what's going on inside of us. It starts by freeing ourselves internally, and we do that through a process of self-development or personal growth. Now, there's an old saying that I absolutely love, and I've been seeing it absolutely everywhere lately. It says that freedom is an inside job, and I could not agree anymore. See, freedom is something that first has to happen inside of us, and that happens when we start telling ourselves the truth. So that may be the truth about love. It might be the truth about money. Perhaps it's the truth about a particular relationship, or maybe a situation that we found ourselves in the past, or something that we're even living in the present. So that real level of internal freedom, as I said, freedom is an inside job. It happens when we can align our life with the truth. On the other end of the spectrum, however, we have the ultimate thing that's stopping most of us from making significant progress towards achieving this kind of freedom. Now, that's got nothing to do with how much money we have or how much time we have. It's got nothing to do with even the limiting beliefs that other people have for us. It's actually the story that we tell ourselves. So it's our own self-imposed limiting perspectives and limiting beliefs. See, most of us are faced with two options. We can either face a fear, or the other option is to come up with a story that justifies why we aren't exactly where we want to be already. So, we can come up with a story such as, I'm not smart enough, or I'm not thin enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not rich enough. Or another common one is, I haven't been loved enough in the past, attributing the fact that we're not where we want to be to some event that's happened in the past where we've felt perhaps neglected or abandoned. So, as I said, these are all self-imposed beliefs, and most of the time we attribute them to something that's outside of our control. So, some lack of natural talent or natural skill or even a natural attribute. As I said, things that most of the time within reason we can't manipulate, like I'm not tall enough or I'm not thin enough. We blame it on something external to us. So there's a really beautiful thing that happens when we realize that the only thing standing in our own way is the story that we tell ourselves. It's our own limitations. It's our own fears. And the sooner that we recognize that, as I've said in the past, awareness is really the first step to achieving anything. So, think about that person. I believe we all know somebody like this. It's a person that, no matter what their problem is or their challenge, we can provide a million solutions. We can rattle off everything under the sun, but they will still have some reason why it will never work for them. A whole list of excuses. Now, really take a little bit of time to think of even a time this year where that you've been that person and you've come up with these self-imposed limiting beliefs on why you can't do something or why you're not where you want to be. A really common goal in the new year, a really common New Year's resolution, as we all know, is losing weight. It may be that you're now at the point where you say, well, I can never lose weight because of X, Y, and Z reasons. So, coming up with a story, that's really the easy way out. So think about it like this. We all have access to exactly the same information, more information today than at any other time in history, and it's only going to become more so. We all have access to exactly the same books. We all have access to the same tools and systems and vehicles, within reason, definitely within Western society anyway. The exact same information that we can find about how to lose weight or how to become financially free or any other goal that you could possibly think of, how to lift a specific amount of weight or, how to run a specific distance without stopping. We all have access to this same information, how to eat well. And that only leaves one reason as to why we haven't met that goal yet. And that, as I've said a few times already, that's a story that we tell ourselves. So when the answer's sitting in front of us, there's only one thing that's stopping us from actually going that step further and making that happen. And that's simply that we've created our own set of beliefs. And we've tied them to a specific story about why it won't work or why it can't work or why it only works for other people. Now, as you can tell, this is something that I'm really, really passionate about because it's something that, it shows in our language that we are telling ourselves each and every day, the stories that we're telling other people, and even it can even come across in our body language. So, when we tell ourselves a story that's so disempowering, then failure can be nothing less than guaranteed. So there's a particular example that I really like, and it's something that Tony Robbins talks about in his latest book, Money Master the Game, 7 Steps to Financial Freedom. And he uses the story of Richard Branson. See, Richard Branson is severely dyslexic, but Richard Branson doesn't go around saying, well, I have dyslexia. Instead, he changes that which would have been a disempowering story as to why he couldn't do something or why he wouldn't be able to reach that level of success. And instead of saying that, he turns it into an empowering story. He says, well, I have dyslexia, so I have to work harder to make everything happen, and I will. So, at the end of the day, you can either use your story or your story can use you. It's as simple as that. So, as I said, take a little bit of time today. You may have a story. You may have had something that's happened to you in the past that you're hanging on to. But it's really a choice that you have to make about whether you want to let that restrict you and disempower you, or whether you're going to turn that around and make that an empowering story and go get what you want. So thank you so much for listening today, guys. I really do hope you found value. As I said, this may be something you're hearing for the 100th time, but I hope that either way you take away some value from this video. If you have done so, please feel free to like, to comment, and to share. And make sure you jump on over to freedom15.info as well to check out what else I have been up to lately and what else I've got in store for you. So thank you so much again, you guys. I really appreciate all your support. As Tony Robbins famously says, divorce your story and marry the truth. So that is the ultimate key to creating that internal freedom, which will eventually lead you to those external ones that you want as well. So thank you very much, you guys. Be brave with your life, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.